Okay, so today guys, we're gonna go over a full car routine. CARs stand for controlled articular rotations, which is a fancy term for saying joint circles. So we're gonna be going from top to bottom. Follow along with me as we go through. Now, as we move through these joint circles, what we're trying to do is improve the viscosity or the lubrication within that said joint capsule, okay? Just to help promote a little bit more flexibility, mobility, and overall helping your joints feel better over the long term. This is something that you could do before workout, after workout, in the morning right when you wake up, right before you go to bed. Times are limitless for this. So let's start with those neck cars first. Now with the neck car, I wanna think about bringing my chin down towards my chest. I'm gonna think about scraping my left collarbone as I move through the movement. Looking up towards the sky, I want to drop that chin down towards that right collarbone and come to a reset point. Now with that joint circle, it's back and forth. So we're just going to repeat that process going the opposite way. Coming to that right collarbone, looking up towards the sky, and then dropping down left to collarbone and back down. Okay, I'm going to show you one more time to the side view. Anytime we do these movements, it can be anywhere from 3 to 10. For the purpose of the full car routine, I would recommend anywhere from 3 to 5 or 3 to 5 per side. Now, chin to chest, to left collarbone, look up towards the sky, drop all the way down, and then repeat that process, coming all the way back. You go as quickly or as slow as you like to. The main purpose is create intention throughout the movement. So don't move too quick where you lose the intention, the focus of the movement. Don't move too slow where you completely forget what you're doing. Now, next one from here is gonna be a thoracic car. Our goal and intention is trying to make sure that this trunk stays from moving too much. So we're gonna lock it into place by bringing our waistband towards our belly button, bring our hands to the opposite sides of our shoulders. I'm gonna pull my shoulder blades away from each other. Think about bringing my left shoulder down towards my right side, come out to the side, or in front of myself rather, really pulling those shoulder blades away from each other, and then dipping that right shoulder towards that left. I'm going to repeat this process going the opposite way, dip that right towards that left, come all the way around, and then as I come all the way up, I'm coming into a little bit of a hyperextensive state in that back, but also standing up nice and tall. Now, if I show you from the side view, shoulder blades pull away from each other, keep that trunk in position so it doesn't move to compensate, bring that left shoulder towards that right, really pull forward, stretching out that upper back, coming right shoulder towards that left, come into the hyperextensive state. We're gonna repeat that process coming back to that original way that we did to complete one full rep. Now from here, it's gonna be scap cars. Now scap cars, I'm thinking about moving my shoulder blades through its fullest range of motion back and forth. So follow along with me, hands to the front of us. We're gonna think about bringing those shoulders up towards our ears. We're gonna push back to get the shoulder blades to touch each other. We're gonna drop down like we're trying to hug a tennis ball in our armpit, and then we are going to pull forward. Reverse that pattern or process. We're gonna bring ourselves all the way back as we come down, bring those shoulders into those ears, and then pull all the way forward again. Okay, I'm gonna show you to the side of myself once more. Bring those shoulders towards those ears, push back, drop down, pull forward. Reverse that pattern as I drop down, push back, shrug up, and then pull forward. Next one's gonna be a shoulder car. Okay, there's multiple ways that we can do shoulder cars. This one's gonna be tackling more so flexion and extension of that shoulder joint. Now, standing up nice and tall, I wanna think about bringing one hand, reaching to shake someone's hand, coming all the way up. There's gonna come a point where I feel like there's a sticking point or I'm stuck and I can't get any farther without having to open up. Once I get to that point, and again, it's gonna be different for everyone, I wanna think about bringing this palm away from me. Now the way I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna think about bringing this bicep and turning it away from my body, making sure my shoulders stay as level as possible. I'm coming all the way towards my butt. I'm gonna reverse that pattern by reaching as far back as possible from myself, find that sticking point once more. That stuck point, will feel it in the front of the shoulder, rotate through that bicep, and then come all the way back into position. I'll show you one more time on the side. Let's go palm facing, reaching, coming all the way around, find that sticking point, rotate through that bicep to come down into that butt, reverse that pattern as I reach all the way through, rotate, and then come right back into it. Next one from here, it's gonna be elbow cars, okay? Elbow cars, excuse me, elbow cars are gonna start on the sides. We're gonna think about bringing our palm towards our shoulder like we're doing a bicep curl, rotate through the forearms to get the palms to face away. It's very important to create the intention and focus the rotation through the elbow, not through the wrist. I'm coming all the way up, rotate through those elbows. Those wrists will follow afterwards and come all the way back down. Side view, I'm coming all the way up, doing like a bicep curl, making sure the elbows stay flush into my rib cage, coming back down, and then all the way back up, creating that rotation at the top of the movement every single time. Now with the wrist cars, usually I like to provide a feedback tool to my forearm to make sure I'm only moving through my wrist. I don't have that with me today, but you guys are more than welcome to do so, whether that's a phone or something you can balance within the forearm. Tuck the elbow into the side of your body. Bring the one hand, put it underneath your forearm. Bring that wrist to face you to the side. Now from here, I'm gonna think about reaching away from my body, coming all the way back down into the hyperextension, palm faces away as I do that, and then I'm coming back up into that circular pattern. Now I'm gonna reset at the top, come all the way to the side, come all the way back down, and all the way back into it. Now everyone's different. For me, it's a lot harder for me to move away from my body, okay? So keep in mind not to let that forearm come up and down and dictate that movement, but rather that wrist dictate the movement the entire time. Now, that makes up the upper half of the full car movements. Now we're gonna move into the lower half. Now with the lower half car movements, I've included spinal cars to be a part of that only because we do it in quadruped position. Quadruped position is just sitting in that all four position. Now there's various ways we could do quadruped. In this instance, we're just gonna have those knees under the hips and the hands under the shoulders. Now, when I do a spinal car, I wanna think about taking each segment of my vertebrae and being intentional to move it one by one. So we start at the lower back every single time. I want to think about bringing that lower back down towards the belly button, working on the first vertebrae. From there, again, it's a slower pattern as I move through it. I'm slowly bringing every single vertebrae down towards the anterior or the front of my body. Now you'll notice I'm around mid-back region at this point. I want to think about still bringing those vertebrae down towards my chest. As I get all the way towards my neck region, I'm going to think about assuming a hyperextensive state by bringing my eyes towards the ceiling. Now, as I'm in this position, I'm at a half of the movement for the car. Now, I always start and stop at the lower back. So now I'm gonna think about bringing that lower back away from the belly button, starting to create a humpback as I move through that movement. Now notice how my eyes are still trying to fight to stay towards the ceiling, okay? My neck does not move down until I get towards that neck. Right now you'll notice I'm around my mid-back region. I am still moving vertebrae by vertebrae, trying my best to stay stable in position. As I move through the movement, what you'll notice is I'm getting closer to my neck. It starts to drop down. I'm getting really high into that flex state in that upper back. And then I'm tucking that chin towards my chest. Now, to repeat that movement, again, you start at that lower back. You start to move through that movement vertebrae by vertebrae, coming all the way up towards the sky, and then repeating that movement starting at that lower back again. I would recommend for the spinal cars to take it nice and slow to get the feel of the movement first. Then you can start to ramp it up if you feel like you're comfortable. Now, next one from here is gonna be a hip car. Now with the hip car, I'm gonna do it mostly to my side, so it's a lot easier for you guys to see. But the way this movement will entail, I wanna think about moving my knee, or my hip rather, in a circular pattern back and forth. So hands under shoulders, knees under hips. I'm gonna lock my core or my trunk into place by bringing my waistband to my belly button. And now I'm thinking about bringing my heels of the palm towards my knees to create some tension in the lats. I want to think about bringing this knee towards my chest, rotate out to the side as if it's on a string. There's going to come a point where you get stuck, just like you did with the shoulder cars. Once you get there, that is your active range of motion. You're going to kick back, up and away into the air like a donkey kick, and then back down, knee to chest. Now from here, once again, I repeat the movement by going backwards. I'm going to think about coming up towards the sky like a donkey kick, follow the same path as previously, almost like that knee's on a string, and then come back into knee to chest. One more time, knee to chest to start. Come out to the side as if you're doing a fire hydrant, and come all the way back up and back down. Okay, we wanna make sure we stay locked in position. We're not trying to have that hip go too high up. We are staying within our active range of motion for any of these car movements. Now, next one from here is gonna be our knee car. We have knee and then we have ankle car. So I'm gonna do knee and ankle on one side and then go on to the other side. Now, take one hand, put it behind the knee, handshake. Now from here, big toe facing towards us, okay? I'm gonna think about rotating through my shin to start with the toe facing the midline of my body. From here, chest stays nice and tall. I wanna think about coming all the way up to try and fully extend my leg. Now, sometimes the limiting factor is a tight hamstring. Again, that's not the end of the world. I find where that may need to be for you, but the main intention here is to create that rotation through the shin. So from here, I am rotating through my shin to have the toe face away from my body, and then I'm coming all the way back down, squeezing my calf and hamstring into my forearm. Coming all the way back up with that toe facing away from me, rotate through the shin to bring it back towards midline, and then back into it. One more time, coming all the way up, rotate, and all the way back down. All the way up, rotate, all the way back down. Now with an ankle car, it's pretty similar to some capacity. We're gonna still stay in this position. I want you to think about bringing your toe towards you. You're thinking about rotating to bring that towards the midline of the body, almost like you're scraping the side of a pancake batter bowl, back and forth. Okay, what I don't wanna see is a lot of movement through the shin, through the knee to help you. That shin and that knee stays locked into place as I move back